Multiple news sources are now confirming that the Department of Justice is investigating Donald Trump directly for his conduct in connection with the January 6th insurrection. A number of sources close to the investigation have confirmed this with the Washington Post and others. This news should not come as a surprise for those who follow the Meidas Media Network, since we have previously reported on the grand jury that the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. has impaneled, which has been issuing subpoenas and speaking with key figures close to Trump. For example, we previously reported a few weeks back about the search warrants served on Trump's lawyer and co-conspirator John Eastman and on the low-level DOJ employee Jeff Clark, who Trump wanted to appoint as acting attorney general over the entire DOJ, since Clark was willing to send a letter to state legislators lying that the election was stolen and demanding they change the results. A federal judge in California has already ruled in connection with the dispute over documents that John Eastman and Trump were more likely than not engaged in a criminal conspiracy to obstruct the election, and thus some of Eastman's records were not protected by attorney-client privilege. Meanwhile, Jeff Clark looks like he will lose his law license from the Washington, D.C. bar. We've also learned that the D.C. grand jury has issued subpoenas to state legislatures over their communications with Trump to submit a fake set of electors to be counted on January 6th, instead of the real electors based on the actual vote, which President Biden won. We believe the DOJ investigation was focused on Trump's crimes as well, because we learned earlier this week that Vice President Pence's chief of staff, Mark Short, had recently given testimony before the grand jury, as did Vice President Pence's top lawyer, Greg Jacob, who also testified publicly before the January 6th committee. But this recent report is the first time it has been confirmed that Trump is directly under criminal investigation. Sources say the investigation is focused on three major aspects of Trump's conduct. First, his conduct on January 6th for conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding and seditious conspiracy. Second, for Trump's role in connection with the fake electors submitted to Congress. And third, in connection with Trump telling the acting attorney general, Jeff Rosen, to simply declare the results of the election in doubt and that Trump's Republican friends in Congress would handle the rest. To date, Merrick Garland and the DOJ have charged 842 suspects in connection with January 6th. 218 defendants have already been sentenced and 116 defendants are awaiting sentencing. This is the single biggest investigation in the history of DOJ, and the DOJ has already had unprecedented success. Before Merrick Garland was a D.C. Circuit judge and his Supreme Court nomination was ended by the machinations of Mitch McConnell, Garland was known as one of America's top prosecutors. Garland oversaw the prosecutions of the terrorists involved in the Oklahoma City bombing and the Unabomber. Merrick Garland has repeatedly said that Trump is not above the law, and anyone who committed crimes on, during, or around the attempt to overthrow our democracy would be charged. The breaking news that Merrick Garland is indeed investigating Trump is directly consistent with the statements Merrick Garland has always been making, but nonetheless is reassuring to hear. Thanks for listening, and make sure to subscribe to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel.